Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ash Singh, and I'm very interested in investing in the metaverse. Can you tell me who you are and what you're working on?
Sure. Hi, Ash. My name is Adel Massarani. I'm the founder and CEO of Phly.
Okay.
Phly is a neighborhood social network that models real cities in a beautiful virtual 3D world, turning places into social hubs that engage people with communities and businesses around. So how do we do that? Users create instant timelines of their daily activities and events at different places and engage with others publicly or privately. So you know what's happening around you with friends and communities and places and events. And as you can see, we're doing this because Phly addresses our deep need to integrate into communities around us and places of our daily lives and be part of what's going and happening around us. And it does it in such a fun, visual, and engaging way. With Phly, we help users capture and share the trivial activities of their daily lives, hopefully in a less pretentious and more authentic way.
Okay.
The company is backed up by an expert leadership team of over 6 years of combined experiences. We soft launched in April last year and surpassed 25,000 user signups with minimal marketing. We're currently pre-revenue, and monetization will be based on tokenized digital assets, NFTs of places and landmarks, and 3D gamified ads. And basically, Ash, with all the buzz you've been hearing lately on the news about the metaverse, where everyone is trying to jump into the wagon, we've already done it with actual products and users. So this is a real world metaverse. It's here right now, and you can be part of it.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Adel. It was great to hear. Now, interesting company, right? Very, very interesting. Questions. We might get some feedback from the chat, right? So people in the crowd, feel free to give us your feedback on the concept. I want to share with you kind of the thoughts that I'm thinking right now as you were pitching. Obviously everyone is talking about this metaverse because of the Activision Blizzard acquisition, the $60 billion acquisition by Microsoft, and all the money that Facebook is putting into it, et cetera, et cetera. What I wanted to know was, as you were looking at this, right, I kind of wanted to understand the evolution of localized community. Right. And so, we started off, I guess it's been like at least 15 years now with Foursquare. Okay. Foursquare existed. And then you might have seen Facebook communities, right?
Yep.
Where you have people that are in the same neighborhood and there's like a neighborhood community and people complain about the garbage pickup and some weird lady that's driving too fast and this person's dog is whatever, right? So you have those and I don't know if there's anything else. To be honest, I'm not as active, but I wanted to kind of know what the evolution of what this is, because what you're doing is there's an element around your neighborhood, right? Integrate in your neighborhood. And I think that's a really powerful element because your neighborhood is relevant to you, right? Your neighborhood gives you access. And as we've gone through our COVID experience, a product like yourself might have been a lot more valuable for people that still wanted to have a chat with the neighbor next door, okay? Or interact and find out and maybe get some babysitting done from somebody else who has got the same COVID protocols in place. There was a lot of challenges. And so I wanted to kind of understand a little bit about that, right? How do you integrate with the neighborhood, and how is this how is using VR and AR and, all of these buzzwords, how have you integrated it so the person feels more connected to their neighborhood? Do you get what I'm saying? Like I want that to come out because I feel that that's an imperative point, right? When we think about the metaverse, it's like, why? Right? Why am I going, like, for those of you that have used a virtual headset, right? You can't use it all the time. You can't wear it for 12 hours a day. Is that correct? Right?
Absolutely.
So if we're going to jump into the metaverse, the question is if I'm going to get dizzy after a couple of hours. Why am I getting dizzy? Okay, right? So that's the question. So can you share a little bit about this? I want to know how it's evolved from Foursquare and Facebook communities, and how does the features of your VR experience or your virtual 3D interactive world help cultivate connections? Okay, can you talk a bit about that?
Sure, absolutely. As you rightly said, I mean, neighborhoods where we live, where we work, where we study, where we hang out defines who we are as people.
Yeah.
And in Phly, what we do, we model real cities in a 3D, in a beautiful, engaging 3D. You don't have to have a VR kit or AR kit to access and use it. And actually, right now, we don't yet provide a VR interface.
Oh.
This is something that's coming by end of this year.
Got it.
Because as you rightly mentioned, still a lot of work needs to be done on the VR side in terms of, some people got nauseous in terms of technology, getting comfortable with the technology. So what we do and what we focus on is providing immersive experience in a sense. When we model those cities in 3D and places around you become in a virtual, you can swipe, dice, zoom, move around the city, it gives those places character. Sure. And when you click on any place or you drop a pin on any place, it immediately creates a timeline. These timelines, you can share, videos, pictures, and text with of plans you're willing to want to do with others, of your feedback on places, on some a party you've had the other day. You can do that publicly or only with friends. What we do here is that 3D creates a character for places. All of a sudden, it just pumps up from two-dimensional map to three-dimensional. All of a sudden, it's a virtual world. So this is what we do, is basic, and of course, because it's a 3D and it's virtual, it creates a lot of opportunities to do gamifications, drop from place to place. And also, we don't require people to be physically there. You can be sitting in, in New York, and you can go to London, to Paris, engage with people, with friends in other cities, and so forth. Yeah. And for that, we don't track your location because of privacy issues. Sure. So as a first step, we provide it as on your mobile app. We provide it as a 3D. Later on, we will add the VR, but before that, we will add the augmented reality. And we're careful about that because we want to make sure it's yet the technology is not catching up, in a comfortable way. And so right now, it's still not the VR, but this is on the plan.
Yes, understood. And so coming back to my second question about suppose I just did this, I've gone to London, I've gone to Paris, I've done all that. If I'm using this in my local neighborhood, right? Suppose I'm going to do this in Port Credit, Mississauga, right? Is this something that can be the next generation Foursquare where you can build a better trusted neighborhood network of people that are going to, create value for me on a regular basis? Does that make sense? Because I can go to London and interact, but I always, when I look at startups, I always look at it as to why me and how am I going to use this on a regular basis, right? And so for me, I'm thinking about, you create a 3D model of the neighborhood that I live in, and suddenly I'm interacting and meeting and getting another, somebody to, mow my lawn and help me with my driveway and help with my kids and different classes and just that community angle. Adel, do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm wondering, is that something that you aim to achieve with your platform?
Yes, we want to start from there, from a sense of we try to extend your digital self to the outside and engage you with what matters in your life. Yeah. We're leaving the rest for the other social networks. We're not in competition with the mainstream ones. We have overlap with Foursquare, of course, because we're trying to create the same thing, the sense of community, connect you with people, with places, and at the end of the day, place represent the community where they move about and move around. But with the 3D, this is where the aha moment, we've done a pilot a couple of years back, and this is where the aha moment came into place with the virtual world. It made it more believable, more engaging for people rather than the 2D map. And it gives a lot of chance to do gamifications around it. You see, we by nature, we are visual beings. We like to see pictures and videos. We don't, we only learn to read and write in the last 10,000 years. So we've been programmed on a visuals, and this is what we're trying to, to give people is, this is the world outside. We'll give it to you.
Yes.
And frankly, for us, having that familiarity with places gives a better edge over other metaverse, because most of the other metaverses out there is fictitious. And so people will go into new places. We don't know, what is this place?
Yes.
There.
Yes.
While in our case, that familiarity factor immediately plays for our advantage, because, people move around in places they already know, but then they engage in a bigger way.
I wonder, and maybe this is an age thing as well, right? But like, I wonder the use cases in a metaverse, right? And so as we are creating it, right, we are the people that are building, like yourself, you're a builder of the metaverse. And we're part of the group of people that are investing and putting capital into the metaverse. And what I always tell people is that you do not have to, before there was Zuckerberg, there was other people, right? And Zuckerberg, when he built Facebook and all this stuff, was no smarter than anyone else, right? And so the point is that we all have to take it upon ourselves to think about why a metaverse should exist and what are the areas that we want to elevate on, right? If we build a metaverse where it's all about getting a virtual real estate besides Snoop Dogg, if that's where we are going as a society, then I think that the society is going to change into a very different place. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If your sense of worth, and for me, what I like about what you're doing is, I like the virtual tours, going to London and Paris, but more importantly, I like the idea of getting a 3D model of my neighborhood, right? You use the word neighborhood in your pitch, and being able to use gamification as a community of purpose. Okay. So there's a lot of people out there today that are not getting married. Okay. There's a lot of people today that don't have kids. There's a lot of people today that are going to have to build the social constructs, and that's going to evolve and change. And your platform is going to be one of those. Okay. So if you think about how the world has changed, we lived in a world maybe 50 years ago where every family had a mother and a father and maybe a grandparent and 3 kids or 4 kids, there was a community structure. And now as we move into a more individualistic structure, neighborhoods are transforming. And because they're transforming, we need to activate local contacts that we might not normally have, right? I wouldn't know my neighbor if I didn't go out of my way to know them, but I still don't really know them, right?
Exactly.
And so I need people that are going to help support me to make my life better, more economical, and all these support structures. And by creating your augmented VR experience, more people are going to immerse, and you want to create a gamified platform where tomorrow, if I go and I cut the grass of the old lady down the street, the local convenience store is going to give me a chocolate bar, right? Because it's gamified. And you create this community of purpose, and suddenly everyone benefits. Okay.
Yes.
I'm growing stuff in my backyard. I have a garden and I have green peppers, and I'm giving them to people in my neighborhood. And I have my garden on your platform. And we're like, come here and get some free green peppers because I've had too many green peppers. That's what I'm talking about. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
That is a world that I would come into, engage with. And, because of COVID right now, I have to go for walks every day. I might want to go for a walk with different people, right? Tomorrow, I might want to help an old lady go for a walk because she needs help because it's icy outside. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
That's how I see it,
Exactly. It's about 2 things. It's about activities and it's about authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the small things in our daily lives. I mean, most of the time, we really lead a routine life. We want to add more excitement and connect people on those small things, which don't mean much to other people in other places. It's not a place where you are pretentious. You're trying to, like most of the other social media, trying to show off with, a beautiful version of your life. No, this is where a place where you can be yourself and you can connect on small little things with people around you in your life, where you live, where you work, where you study. And this is what we're trying to build, that sort of capture that, daily life routines.
Yes.
And
Yes.
turn them into something that's exciting and connects you with people who are of the same interests.
Yeah.
And
Because I look at this, again, this is the big picture thinking. When you move into a neighborhood, typically you'll look at very basic elements, things like, the location, the crime rate, the demographic of people. But when I look at what you are doing, if you have a neighborhood that is very, a neighborhood of purpose, right? Everyone is actively trying to help each other, right? That's a very valuable thing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And one of the use cases we discussed it is real estate. If I want to move into a place in this neighborhood. Now, there are tons of apps and websites about real estate, but in Phly, I can see actually what's the vibe of this place. Are these people match what I like? Are they in the same wavelength? Am I moving to a too crazy area for me, or I'm moving to the right place? So hopefully that's what we're trying to do, is to create that sort of a, different characters of places. Yeah.
Got it. What are you looking for, Adel? What are you looking for? Are you looking for investment right now?
Yeah, we're looking for investment over $4 to $5 million. We're going to use that. Yeah, we're going to use that for expansion, user acquisition, boost product innovation, and content creation.
Got it. Would you like me to pitch your idea back to you, Adel?
Please.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to focus a little bit about this community of purpose, if I may. Okay. I really want to kind of get into that and get a couple of pointers there, right?
That's a strong emotional aspect. Absolutely. That's a powerful emotional
aspect. I feel that could work. So I'll allow you to introduce yourself. You can be whoever you want.
Okay.
And once you introduce yourself, I will introduce the Phly to you. Go ahead.
All right. My name is Adel. I just cashed out with $300 million from one of my last investments.
Oh, congratulations.
I've heard a lot of, thank you. I've heard a lot about metaverse. I don't know what it is. I think it's just a buzzword that everyone pretends to know.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Tell me what you guys are doing.
Yes. So my name is Singh. I'm part of the Phly team. Metaverse is something that a lot of people are putting a lot of money into, but more importantly, and it's going to take time. Metaverse is going to take a lot of time. There's a lot of computing power and all these elements that are required to get where they need to be. What we've been working on for the last 5 years is Metaverse for today, right? What we've done is we believe that there is an evolution. You might have heard of Foursquare, location-based apps, Facebook communities. We believe that, especially during COVID, we've recognized the need to connect neighborhoods, right? Connect people that are closer together for a greater good for the whole community. And what we've decided to do is to use existing technology, create a simple virtual 3D experience to remodel neighborhoods and allow people the opportunity to integrate themselves and participate in their neighborhood. And so we have a beautiful visual experience along with a gamification platform. So you can enter your neighborhood, know exactly who is in your area. You can help people out. You can go for a walk. You can shovel somebody's driveway. You can experience this and build a better vibe in your neighborhood and benefit in terms of the experience. You can benefit from the gamification. You might even make some money along the way. But we believe that we have to now build these communities of purpose, and we want to start off in neighborhoods. And we believe if we can do this one neighborhood at a time, we can scale this up. And this would actually be a great content layer for the metaverse. We've been doing this for a very long time. We're looking for around $5 million to take it up a notch and make sure it's properly integrated in some of the major cities and get some other pilots going. And I'd love to chat to you about how we are going to make a dent in the metaverse. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you.
All right. So Adel, that's how I'm, you know what I mean? Like the community is baking it in, making it, you know what I mean? I want that to come through along with, being able to kind of go to other locations, right? but I just feel like it's so much a stronger play if we localize it. And this idea of being a major content layer of the metaverse. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Activision Blizzard was just a content layer in the metaverse, and it was $60 billion, right?
Yeah.
So I see you guys, you might actually build something bigger, but right now I want you to be the best in class metaverse like layer that's active right now. Okay. Not active tomorrow, right? Because whatever we're seeing right now on the Facebook Meta platform, no one's using it. It's okay. It's interesting. But what you're doing right now is something people can jump in and create these communities of purpose, right? You know, and improving the vibe and the viability and the value of your real estate and the value of your experience, right? And more importantly, Adel, when I see what you're doing, you know, once you create a neighborhood, right, of purpose and the vibe is at the right level, you start to bring happiness to people that are a little bit more disadvantaged, right? I'm thinking about the old ladies, the ones that have been widowed, that don't have anyone to shovel their driveway, or, you know what I mean? Like, exactly, that's what I'm talking about. And I feel that you can, whenever you create a platform, you need to kind of have your initial early adopters, right? The people that are going to help build it. And I always feel that if you can find a good cause to rally behind, right, it's always good, right? And so that's my view from a Canadian perspective, right? You know, it might differ for other people, but I just thought I would share that, right? And love what you're doing, and look forward to seeing the new versions. I know that you have a couple of locations, some landmarks, big cities. Look forward to your success. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thanks,
Thank you. Cheers.